Parshat Yitro contains 3 parakim. In Perek 18, we are told of the arrival of Yitro, facilitating the reuniting of Moshe Rabbeinu with his wife and 2 children. In Perek 19, we have the account leading up to Yitro's advice to Moshe Rabbeinu for the decentralization of the judicial system. And in Perek 20, we have Matan Torah, at least the oral transmission of the Aseret HaDibrot, the revelation of HaKadosh Baruch Hu to Bnei Yisrael. The thesis of the Rebbe, based upon Kabbalistic literature, is to link the arrival of Yitro, Perek 18, with Matan Torah, Perek 20. The Zohar writes that Lo Taihivat Oraita the Torah, that the Torah was not given ad lebatar da'ata Yitro, until Yitro arrived, ve'odei ve'amar, and gave praise to HaKadosh Baruch Hu with his proclamation that ata yadati ki gadol Hashem mikol ha'elokim, now I know that God is greater than all other forces, and Baruch Hashem asher hitzil etchem, etc. Note the reverse order. Gedein istalek kutchabricho bikarei ila v'tata, loosely translated as when God's control of both the upper worlds and the lower worlds was complete, it was then and only then that lebata yahev oraita bishleimo, that God began the process of revelation, bringing the Torah to the Bnei Yisrael. In effect, the Zohar is linking the arrival of Yitro with Matan Torah. Worded differently, Yitro was an integral component of Matan Torah. Zohar is a commentary to the text, and as with Rashi at the Pshat level, Gemara Medrash at the Remez and Sod level, the Zohar attempts to address textual anomalies. It does so using tools that are quite different from Pshat, Remez and Drush. From a time perspective, Shmot 18 takes place sometime before Sivan 2448, Shmot 20 on the 6th of Sivan that year, and the actual delivery of the Aseret HaDibrot took place 120 days later, following the incident of the Egel and God's reconciliation with Bnei Israel on the 10th of Tishrei 2449. What is quite puzzling is the fact that the events recorded in Shmot 19, Yitro's advice to Moshe Rabbeinu, must have taken place sometime after the 10th of Tishrei. Its placement, however, precedes Shmot 20, Matan Torah. Its placement can be justified in that in both instances the central character is Yitro, and coupled with the rule of Ein Mukdam Mu'ucha B'Torah, it has been inserted between the arrival of Yitro and Matan Torah. In terms of chronological order, however, we have Shmot 18 leading into Shmot 20. This would underpin the thesis of the Zohar that it was with the arrival of Yitro and his articulation of the concept of Ata Yadati Ki Gadol Hashem Mikol Ha'elokim, God's control of both the upper and the lower worlds, that facilitated and made way for God's presence to be revealed upon Har Sinai with the giving of the Aseret HaDibrot to Bnei Yisrael. In doing so, we might wish to respond to another anomaly, and that is with respect to the names of the parashiyot. According to the Rebbe, the name of the parashiyot reflect the core concept of the entire parasha. 5 parashiyot are linked to specific individuals. Those individuals are Noach, Sarah, Balak and Pinchas. In each, these 4 individuals are the central character. What is most puzzling is Parashat Yitro, whereby if we discount Shmot 19, we are left with the arrival of Yitro, which on the surface at least appears merely to inform us that both Yitro, Tzipporah and Moshe's 2 sons were present at Matan Torah, the central event of this parsha. And yet, the parsha is named Yitro. Surely, when the Chumash was subdivided by Chazal into the specific parashiyot, Chazal should have placed Matan Torah as the central event, rather than naming the parsha Parashat Yitro. And while the issue of the naming of the parashiyot would not be one addressed by Pshat, Remez or Drush, it is possibly the focus of Sod that links Shmot 18, the arrival of Yitro, with Shmot 20, Matan Torah. That it was only after the arrival of Yitro that Matan Torah was possible.